Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, come, yet again come. It's a poem I love by Rumi. Welcome to the Threaded Caravan. This is a space for accompaniment. It's a space to sit together in the midst of uncertainty, of illness, and grief. In this space, nothing needs to be fixed. Nothing needs to be figured out or resolved. You are welcome to come as you are. I've written some notes because I'm not used to this, and I'm beginning this channel or this series or whatever, I don't know what it's going to be, during a year I didn't plan for. Just before Christmas, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It's triple negative with the HER2 positive piece of the diagnosis driving the treatment protocol that's ahead for me. Today's the 14th of January, 2026, and tomorrow I start my first round of chemo. There are lots of treatments and uncertainties ahead for me, and appointments and timelines, and of course there are a lot of unknowns that remain. And I've found comfort since my diagnosis in many things, and one of the things that I've really been surprised by how comforting it is to listen to other people's stories about their own cancer diagnosis and journeys. And somehow I felt very accompanied by them, which has been a strong longing for me since finding out. I think I've always had a sense that we belong to one another. Sometimes that's challenged in these chaotic times, but I feel like that's what I need to know and sort of hold on to through this. And so it's my hope that this can be a place of accompaniment where we can accompany one another. So I really am longing for a deep sense of accompaniment, and I wonder if that's the same for other people. I also have noticed a strong desire emerging in myself for not wasting the suffering that's ahead for me and some of the suffering that's already happened. I love Tara Brach, and she often will say something to the effect of an intention not to let the suffering be wasted. And that has always resonated with me. And I think I feel this very strong desire for this suffering not to be wasted. And yet, as a clinical social worker who's worked for years as a therapist, I'm not currently working now. I've taken a break from it because I was helping my mother through her own cancer journey. But as someone who's seen how sometimes we can really try to press toward hope too quickly, or try to make suffering pay rent somehow, or to resolve itself, I think that can often be counterproductive, right? Like when we force it. And so my hope is in my own life, and maybe for anyone who wants to sit with me in it, in this space, who's going through their own things, I want to be careful not to force meaning onto my suffering, but I really want to stay present inside what's here, whether it's joy or suffering, or the messy mixture of feelings that often come with life, right? And the different things that we have to go to. The sense of accompaniment that I'm thinking of that this channel might offer is that, and I'm wanting to cultivate, is the kind that asks us to stay, to listen, to walk together with our own experience, like to be present for myself, and then to be present for others, and feel a sense of connection without insisting on answers, especially easy answers, right? Because I just don't think it's realistic, and I think it's kind of an empty desire that doesn't lead anywhere good. The opening poem, Rumi's poem, I've always loved that poem. And I think sometimes when one reads it, it might they might come to the conclusion that Rumi is asking us not to be in despair at all. When he says ours is not a caravan of despair, but I don't think that's what he meant. I think he means that we don't have to stay in despair, right? Like that it's a temporary part of the journey, perhaps, and that in accompanying ourselves or one another and being a caravan, there's something about that that helps balance maybe some of the despair or other difficult feelings that we might be feeling. So there's this call, I feel like, to stay present to the flow of life and not get stuck in despair. And so I just love the invitation of the poem too. It's like, come, come, yet again, come. And I hear the promise, like I said, that despair is only a part of the journey. And so, and I really think that's important for us to remember when we're going through difficult times. So, so this really is hopefully going to be a space for us to be when courage is quiet, when faith feels thin, and when our bodies and minds are tired. I hope we can be together. And see, I feel sort of a desire to do to try this because I feel really fortunate that I do feel quite accompanied by others. I feel very supported and very cared for, and I know that might not be the case for everyone, right? And so I'm feeling moved because I'm grateful for the sense of accompaniment that I have, and I was very pretty intentional about reaching out to people who I hoped would accompany me, and I don't really need anything tangible. I have a very supportive husband, and feel like all my practical needs will be taken care of probably primarily by him. But like I said, I had this strong sense that I wanted to be accompanied by people that felt really safe to accompany me. And I'm hoping, even though it's not the same, that this space can be a safe place for you also to feel accompanied if you're going through something difficult. And this space is really for anyone who needs to hear again and again that they are welcome to return. And so right now, I think one thing that regulates me or helps me sort of get out of my head and get into my body or in my hands is to do sewing. And I've really only picked up sewing since COVID, and I really enjoy it. But what I'd like to do, and what you're welcome to do, is I'm going to sew for a few minutes, and you're welcome to stay here with me and breathe. If there's some hand project that you also would like to do as we just sit together, you're welcome to do this. So you can pause me and grab it if you want. as we close, I want to offer an intention that I'm trying to hold for myself, and for anyone who wants to carry this intention too. And the intention is just, may I meet this moment with as much honesty and gentleness as I can. So if that feels like it resonates with you, it might be something you too would like to pick up, that I'd like to share. As I thought, some of the things I really appreciated about the videos that I was watching about people who are diagnosed and going through treatment for breast cancer is some of the things that they found helpful. And so some of the things in the past week or so that I really found helpful, I guess maybe I'll try to share 2 or 3 or so things each time we're together. But one thing that I had when I had my port installed about a week ago, instead of the typical twilight, they had to do a general anesthesia. And so with that comes the sore throat, that comes from getting, I don't know if it's a breathing tube, whatever they do when you get general anesthesia. A friend of ours who had been to Japan years and years ago, well, they've been stationed there twice. We're also a retired military family. And anyway, they would bring back the best of things that they found there. And one time they shared with us, and I don't know if it was this brand, I'm not even sure, but it's this sort of like orange marmalade, but we get it at the Asian supermarket. And you heat up hot water and you put a tablespoon or 2 of this inside of it. And it's just really soothing. They make some with ginger, and I have that too. It's a little, feels a little burny on your throat. The ginger does, but I'm sure it's good for you. But I really love just the orange. It's called honey citron tea. And so I don't know if you can see it, but like I said, there's lots of different brands of this. And it's typically in the tea section of the Asian food market. And it has these little pieces of orange in it. And after you finish drinking your hot beverage, it's just really soothing. And you can eat those orange pills that are in there. It's really, really good. And I wanted to share that for anybody who either is going through surgery for breast cancer and they have that sore throat, or maybe, I don't know what it's going to be like. I haven't started chemo yet, but if I'll be able to tolerate it when I'm doing chemo. But I wanted to share that with you guys because I really have enjoyed it. The other thing is I recently went to the library and got a lot of different books, and I'm especially appreciating Mary Pfeiffer's, who I love her writing anyway, A Life in Light, and it's Meditations on Impermanence. And it's sort of like essays. It's a memoir almost, or it seems to me memoirish, done in essay form. So it kind of bounces around through her life, and it's really beautiful. And so, and I'm only about maybe a third of the way through. Trying to savor it, and it's nice because you can just read one chapter. It sort of stands alone, and she's a wise person. She too is a therapist, but she was a psychologist and so the social worker. Yeah, she's the author of Reviving Ophelia, Shelter of Each Other, Another Country, and Women Rowing North. Those are just a few of the books that she's known for. She's lovely. I love her writing, and I'm so happy and find this encouraging and sustaining. So the last thing that I really maybe wanted to mention is I am having this sort of feeling of like wanting to hide under the cover and burrow in, and I'm trying to honor that too, but I'm also pushing myself a bit to get out in the sunlight. And so we have a little patio out back, and probably I'll take a picture and just drop it in there, but we have some Adirondack chairs on there, and I've just been trying to sit on those when it's sunny and soak in the light, the sunshine for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. And we're also trying to walk in the outside and just not hide away. And I think in some ways this YouTube endeavor is another way not to hide away, because I feel like there's a part of me that wants to keep it secret, that feels guilty, right? That I have cancer. I know my weight is not great, and that I've had not a great diet. And so there's a part of me that feels very self-blaming, like I'm to blame for it, and so I need to be ashamed of it. And so I feel like in sharing and coming forward, it's really a challenge to those negative thoughts that are not helpful and are not true. I mean, I definitely, it's true that I didn't take as good care of my body, but I don't feel like it's true that I need to feel guilty or overly responsible for the fact that I have breast cancer, right? And I certainly don't feel that for anybody else. And it's a piece of that, really giving ourselves the same kind of grace that we give others. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and I appreciate you guys being here. And I'm interested in your feedback about what would be helpful, and I'm grateful for the accompaniment. Thank you.